Number 11, Jada Andrews. And number 15, Zanaria Robinson. Head coach, Mercedes Corona. Assistant coaches,
Robert Williamson set to bring the coverage as the 1-5 Eagles take on the 2-4 Fighting Tigers. Region 8 and Region 17 meeting here in Americus. Let's get you introduced to the ladies who will be on the floor first. And here you have it for Tallahassee Community College. Sam, Tingle, Bailey, Andrews, and Robinson all getting the starting nod. Sam averaging 15 a game. Bailey 13 per contest. A couple of double-digit scores for Tallahassee. Andrew College with Johnson, Thomas, Battle, Bennett, and Gay. All starting things off. And if you're looking at double-digit scores from Andrew College, well, they've got them, but they're not starting. And it is thrown away by Andrew College as we get things underway. The game that preceded saw Miami-Dade win their first of the year, a 92-73 win over Georgia Highlands. Georgia Highlands falling to 1-4, losing their third straight. And for Miami-Dade, first win of the year after 2 losses. So they are very early in the year. 3 ball, not there for Sam. Loose ball, and it is retrieved by Johnson. Air ball on the 3 try from Rhodes. Rhodes averaging 9 points a ball game. Check that, actually averaging 2 a game. The 9 a game belongs to Thomas. So Rhodes trying to exceed what she typically does on 1 shot. Johnson for 2. Got the steal. Johnson to the other end of the floor. Had an opportunity for the lay-in. Instead, the rebound belonging to Sam. So we've seen a lot of Sam early. We know why she is one of the top scorers and rebounders for this squad as it's brought inside. And it's Skylar Bailey. Bailey averaging 13 a game. And Bailey getting her first points in the contest. She was a very good free throw shooter. 84% on the year. Gets both, knocks the game up at 2. Thrown away on the inbounds. Been able to come down with a board off the misses Bennett. Andrew College and nearby Cuthbert. Tallahassee in not that far away, but not quite as nearby as Cuthbert, obviously. In the capital city of Florida. Gonna jump on, and the possession arrow will favor Tallahassee. Bailey to put it in play to Sam. In a 2-2 game, and this reminiscent of the game that preceded, in that it took a little while for teams to get cranked up. We were halfway through the quarter in a game that preceded and had a total of 10 points on the board. And here we are a couple of minutes in and have a total of 4. Foul on the drive is Robinson. Redshirt sophomore going to the strike. Thomas committing the foul. That'll be her first. And it is 3 committed by Andrew. First one good for Robinson. Averaging 7.5 a game. A 63% free throw shooting Tallahassee team. She'll nail both. And both teams have had a 2-point lead early. Bennett with a miss. Sam bringing it down low. And there will be a foul. And again, if we base it on the face that says it can't be me, well, it wasn't her. Typically it is, but it will not be called on Thomas. Instead, the foul charge to Bennett. And Sam at the stripe shooting. Sam, a 74% free throw shooter. And she'll miss both. However, the board belonging to Tallahassee. Taken away, though, by Johnson. And there's a travel on the other end of the floor. After the steal, Tallahassee walked with it. And Andrew Collins will have it. Put in play from the near sidelines. Sam going over to Johnson. Back to Sam, topside give to Bennett. Thomas thinking about the three instead. It is a two from Gay, and the two misses. And the pass is too long. Intended for Ashari McNeil, who was checked into the game for Tallahassee. Over to Johnson. Feed goes to Gay. Gay trying to bring it back door, tipped out of bounds. Last to touch it was Robinson. And Andrew Collins will still have possession in a game that's seen 6 points total. Gay blocked. Robinson said, not having it. There is I think a long two. Never saw any of the officials indicate otherwise. Johnson able to sidestep the defense provided by Andrews. And get the two. Knotted up at 6 each. I checked that, 6-4 game. We are score-wise at the identical spot that we were in the first game. Let's see if we carry it down to the 5-minute mark and thereabouts. McNeil losing it. Back over it goes to Johnson. She'll drop it in despite the swat by Bailey. And now we are knotted at 6. As we get close to 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Taken into the glass, that is Tingle. Johnson over to Thomas. She'll put up the three. And the air ball gives it back over to Tallahassee. Chipola and South Georgia Tech in the last game of the day. And it's the only game that features teams above the 500 mark. I mean, obviously, we are very early in the year, and there's a chance for some of these teams to leave at the 500 mark, but everybody but Chipola and South Georgia Tech came in below. Bailey with a miss on the long-range shot. Robinson getting it back, brings it to the glass. Missed from the left side. The loose ball retrieved by Bennett. Over to Thomas. That is Jabrika Leslie who is in. Also in for Andrew Collins is Sabrika Leslie and Jabrika and Shabrika. That's what threw me. I was looking at Leslie's and similar first names, but different ladies. Robinson with a rebound into the paint. Tries to step around the defense provided by Bennett. Got a jump ball, and the possession arrow will send us to the Andrew Collins end of the floor. And we observe media timeouts here. So we've got one inside 5 to play. Quarter number 1, 8 apiece, Andrew College and Tallahassee. Well, after 4 minutes and 50 seconds, can't get any closer than we currently are. Knotted up at 8. Tallahassee and Andrew College. Second of 3 games today, second of 6 games this weekend. And all of them on JockJive and or YouTube. So feel free to check it out on either one, or both for that matter, although I don't know why you would do both games on different mediums, but hey, that's your cup of tea, we're good with it. Leslie putting it in play to Leslie. And Bennett will lean in and lay it in for 2. Break apart the 8-all tie. David Finley is our halftime guest. Check out the conversation with David Finley in a quarter and a half. Top of the key, Sam for 3. Make that a long 2. In traffic, Rhodes dropping it in. Two-point Andrew College lead from the corner. Another 3-ball. Waiting for that ponytail to swoosh aside so I can tell you who dropped in the 3. I believe that was Morgan LeBourne. Well, again, a long 2 and not a 3. Boy, I'm off on my judging. Got to look at the feet and not the hands. So it was a LeBourne long 2 to tie it at 12. Into the corner to Leslie. Give goes back to Rhodes. Rhodes with a miss. Loose ball batted around. Andrew College has been coming up with it. Hands over to Thomas, and Thomas to the other end of the floor. In traffic, runs into the would-be block. It turns into a foul. Charge to Jordan Muse. Or actually, that is Zaniah Irvin, who is into the ball game and commits the personal. Well, they're going to charge that instead on the reach by McNeil. Yeah, I'll get the whole roster here in a moment. Thomas with a miss. In a 12-apiece game, 3:25 to go in the first. Thomas breaking apart the 12-12 tie, a 1-point lead. That's a 3-try, no good for LeBourne. And you got a walk by Johnson. Andrews to put it in play, does so to Sam. Pete Arrington, Thanksgiving Classic, in honor of a long-time supporter of the South Georgia Tech program who passed away a couple of years ago due to cancer. The board coming out of the ball game. And Paley will check back in for the Eagles. Andrew Collins with one more win or twice as many, whichever you prefer. Wide open down low. That is missed by Tingle. And Johnson the miss on the other end of the floor, created by the defense of the Eagles. Bailey's got it. And then an offensive on the drive. Sam committing the personal. Bennett coming out of the game. Johnson out. Douglas in. Also into the game is Robert. Gianna Roberts, Jersey Douglas. Shabrika Leslie going to the stripe after the personal charge to Andrews. Andrew Collins trying to add to the advantage. Leslie, according to stats, coming in a 50% free throw shooter. Averaging 7 points a game. And goes 1 of 2 that trip. Rebounded by Irvin. Into the corner. Andrews with a miss. Follow-up is good. And we're tied again, this time at 14. Leslie with a miss. Bailey with a board. Looking for a little help. Sam providing it. Into the corner and goes to Bailey. Out of that corner and then picking it up just outside of the paint. Shot misses. Andrews. Fouled by Robert. That'll be the first foul on Robert. And it's got Andrews shooting. Well, Miami-Dade's got the furthest trip. If you get reward points for the longest drive, it belongs to Chipola. I make that Miami-Dade coming out of Miami. Chipola, of course, out of Mariana. We mentioned Andrew Collins, Cuthbert, and Tallahassee, obviously, from Tallahassee, Florida. The offensive bucket is denied. And, of course, Georgia Highlands. Well, they made a pretty good drive from Rome or Cartersville. Of course, they played their basketball in Rome. I guess that's probably the second longest drive, maybe. Miami's got the longest. Georgia Highlands, second longest. Third longest, Tallahassee. Bailey misfiring on the 3. Able to put it back up and in for 2, and the possibility of 3 is Robinson. It was a pretty impressive play by Robinson. And Robinson capping off the three-point play. Fan down low, Leslie shot misses. Sam's got it, going the other way. Working it out to near the scorer's table. With her each step of the way is Michaela Scott. It's Bailey with a miss on the 3 try. Robert gets it. Leslie throws it away. Andrews with it. Bailey giving it over to Sam. Shot clock off and your game clock at 13, now 12. Sam sending it over to Tingle, and that is back to Sam, and Sam for 2. And that'll bring it into quarter number 1 with Tallahassee, a burst at the end of the stanza. And pushing out to a 6-point lead after 10 minutes of basketball. Yeah, loving the seasonal sounds of David Finley, who will be our halftime guest and talk about not only what he does PA-wise and video board-wise here, but he's got another pretty important job dealing with academics at South Georgia Tech. And a conversation with David coming up at the half. Eagles win on a little tear at the end of the stanza to build a 6-point lead. Andrew Collins looking to get right back into it as Leslie. Well, dropping the 2, and all of a sudden it's just a mere 4. Sam losing the ball, Leslie coming up with it. The defense of Scott might have been part of the reason. Just underneath, loose ball retrieved by Leslie and is blocked by Robinson. Bailey coming up with it. Three-pointer from Bailey, good. Bailey averaging 13 a game, and that's thrown right into Bailey's hands. Tingle knocked to the turf by, or actually the hardwood. Got to get out of the football vernacular. With 8:54 to play in the half. Bailey puts it in play from the baseline. Left open out front, Tingle, and Tingle with a miss. Leslie with the rebound. Handed back over to Leslie. 3-ball, no good. Bailey with it. And then you've got a Jabrika reach, as in Jabrika Leslie.
Foul number 6, Jabrika Leslie, her second.
That'll be 2 fouls on Leslie, as Tallahassee puts it in play from the near sidelines. Over it goes to Bailey. Picks it up at the elbow, and then that little bounce. We don't have a call for a little bounce. We got a call for a travel. So we're going with the travel. Thomas back into the ball game, brings it to the timeline on the opposite side of the floor, gives to Johnson, who's back in too. And that will go out of bounds off of Bailey as Gay brings it into the paint. Scott puts it in play. Out it goes to Leslie. Trying to get it to the other side of the paint to Scott. Instead, it will go out of bounds. Leslie touched it last. And it'll be Tallahassee Community College ball. Bailey working it from the timeline into the paint, lost it. And there was a foul on the floor. That foul committed by Thomas. Well, apparently New Mexico State, where former Lady Jet basketball coach James Frey is coaching. They are playing in New York this weekend. Robinson with a walk. And New Mexico State had a slim lead in the first half. I know that's it. That's all the info I got for you. I don't know who they're playing. Just know they got a lead. Know they're playing in Brooklyn, New York. Over it goes to Johnson, top side. Gay to Leslie, backs it up, back over to Gay. Thomas putting up the three ball. She'll knock it down and knock a big chunk out of that lead. Trims a 7-point lead to 4. The lean in and the bucket from McNeil. Over it goes to Johnson. That was a tiny window trying to get it to Gay. It's swatted away by Bailey. Back over to McNeil. McNeil with a miss. And in an effort to track down the loose ball, the foul is committed by Tingle. That'll be her first. Fighting Tigers to put it in play from right in front of head coach Jonathan Snail. Too strong with the toss. Gay somehow able to get it back, though. Robinson providing the defense. Now the foul. But how Gay was able to get that back is baffling. Robinson charged with the foul.
Foul number 15 is Robinson, her first.
That'll be the first on Robinson. It's got Gay shooting. Gay, a 36% free throw shooter. Averages 8 points a game. Third best on the team. Jabrika Leslie's 15. Leads all Tiger scores. Bailey with the rebound off the second miss. Johnson able to get the steal. Fires to Leslie. Misfires on the two. Gay's follow-up. Not there. And then Leslie committing the foul, trying to take it away from Robinson. So Andrews puts it in play with the give over to McNeil. As we approach halfway through the second. Trying to get it to Andrews. Bennett trying to take it away. Takes it out of bounds. And it will remain Eagle basketball. The board, who has checked back into the ball game, puts it in play. Goes out McNeil. Tingle into the corner. And as Andrews bringing it baseline and still dribbling out of bounds, it will belong to Andrew College. Rhodes to Thomas, and Thomas down the floor for the Fighting Tigers. Which, by the way, will have a new sport next year. They are adding football in Cuthbert and Andrew College. They and Central Georgia Tech will join Georgia Military College, which for years has been the only Georgia junior college football team, but that will be no more in 2024. LeBourne with a miss. Robinson trying to get the putback. And she will draw the foul. Bennett committing her first. Robinson will shoot. Makes her first of two. 6 Robinson points, make it 7 with a second of 2. Bennett sending it over to Johnson. Down low it goes to Bennett. Bennett walked with it. Tallahassee gets it back. 5:15 to play in the half. And don't forget the game coverage available not only on our website but on YouTube. We would love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. As Tingle touched it last before it goes out of bounds, it will belong to Andrew College. Bennett putting it in play. Gives it to Thomas. You know how it works on YouTube. You get notification when the link is created, when it goes active. You can share it. A lot of benefits to subscribing. Tingle putting up the 3 off the glass. Robinson with the rebound. And Bennett reaches in to take it away, ties her up. A jump ball will keep us on this end of the floor. Bailey coming back into the ball game, but all of that happens after the media timeout. We take a break with 4:31 to go in half number 1.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
.431 left to play, half number 1 as McNeil puts it in play from the baseline. Gives it to Robinson, but it's a low toss to a tall lady. Johnson's got it on the other end of the floor. Eagles went on a run to end the first. Andrew College hoping to go on a run to end the second. And it's LeBourne with a miss from long range. Bennett with it. Over it goes to Johnson. And she'll throw it away. Trying to zip it into Gay. And a double dip. I think that a double dribble. Not a double dip. Been a double dribble by Andrews. Andrew College getting the ball back inside 4 to play into the corner to Leslie. She'll put up the 2, short on the shot. And McNeil with a board. Air ball on the 3 try. Fighting Tigers will have it, 3:43 to play. Half number 1. South Georgia Tech and Chipola in the nightcap. Out to Leslie, over it goes to Rhodes, and then ball turned over to Tallahassee. Andrews to put it in play to McNeil. Drive into the paint, off the window for 2 for McNeil. Tingle firing back to Thomas. Thomas might have gotten away with an extra step. Leslie trying to float it to the glass. Andrews with the rebound. Kicks it over to McNeil. Into the corner, LaBorde. She will drop in the long 2. And the game's first double-digit lead happens just inside. 3 to play in the half. Thomas bringing it inside, no good. Bennett's follow-up. It's not good either. And it will go out of bounds off Andrews, who pleads her case. It falls on deaf ears as the Tigers will bring it in from the baseline. Fan to Leslie, and she will get the easy 2 on the lay-in. Three ball misses for McNeil. It goes out of bounds. Tigers will have it. Trying to trim into the 8-point advantage. From the hangar in Americus, Georgia. Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic. Top of the key, Robert. Missing on the 3. Able to come up with a loose ball. That is Jardine Muse, who is now in. Back it goes to Bailey, top of the key, and there's an offensive foul. That'll be charged to Muse. That'll be the first on Muse. Gives the ball back over to Andrew College. Thomas working it to the timeline, left side. Wide open, Bennett down low. Couldn't get it to fall, and Bailey's got it. Shoots a rocket down to Andrews. Got away from her briefly. LaBorde able to come up with it. Up to McNeil. And that is Muse trying to bank it. Thomas with a rebound. Off the glass on the other end of the floor, but the offensive charged to Thomas. Thomas coming out of the game. And let's see who comes in. That'll be Leslie. LaBorde banking in the 3. Leslie able to capture an errant basketball. Douglas trying to track it down, but Leslie gets to it. The shot no good. And it will go off of Douglas out of bounds. .32 seconds remaining in the half. LeBourne with a miss on the 3 try. And Roberts trying to track it down. Couldn't. It's tipped out of bounds by Bailey. Bennett coming out of the corner, and McNeil will reach in, tip it away, but one official overruling the other. Initially, it was indicated to be Eagle basketball, but the official coming over and saying, hey, got the foot of McNeil on the way out. And the Tigers will have it with 9 remaining in the half. Lobbed out to Leslie. Gives a look at the clock. Brings it top of the key, then over to Douglas, fires the 3, and that's your half. It is halftime, and at the half, 11-point lead, it belongs to Tallahassee. Pete Arrington, Thanksgiving Classic here at the Hangar in Americus, halfway through Game 2.
You've played some travel ball, you've shared the videos. Mom and Dad can only root so much. It's time to get real interest from the colleges and scouts in your area, right where you live. That's why the Showcase Series is different. We're not just another tournament, we're an advancement event where you get real-time exposure with live TV coverage of our games that get you seen directly by the coaches you want to impress from anywhere in the world. Register for events at showcaseseries.org. It's your turn at bat.
Great to have with us at halftime David Finley, who is an academic dean there at South Georgia Tech. David, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing good. Let me say thank you very much for these annual conversations. I want to think this is maybe the 3rd year now that we have chatted once a year about stuff going on there. Thank you very much.
Thanks. I look forward to these as well.
Not only academic dean, I know you as the brain thrust behind the music and the PA there at South Georgia Tech games. I love your approach. It's unique. It's kind of a dry sense of humor tossed in with some music that is apropos for the moment. So is that stuff that just comes naturally, or do you have to work on it? Do you do a little rehearsal?
Oh, I'm always rehearsing things in my head and looking for different ways to get my sense of humor out there. Not a lot of people appreciate it. It took my wife almost 20 years. We'll be married 30 in July, but it took her almost 20 years to get used to my sense of humor. So I can understand why people in the crowd don't get it. But I don't do it for them. I do it for me.
Well, hey, and I appreciate it. I don't know what that says about me that I do get it and got it early. So, but now where a situation is concerned, you're kind of like you've got to do some instantaneous thinking because I'm assuming you've got at your fingertips access to all these songs that have different lyrics that are convenient for the moment, but you've got to be able to do that in the span of about 5 seconds. So, how do you do it so quickly?
You just try to stay in the game and figure out what's going on and seeing the players in action. The really hardest time I have is trying to get music loud enough to cover the coaches when they call a timeout. Last game we had, I didn't connect it up properly, so I wasn't able to play the music. And it was obvious I needed to cover some of our coaches. So I figured that out, and hopefully we'll be back in rare form this weekend.
There are new, I call them mini jumbotrons on each end of the floor. Do you play a role, or will you play a role in what we see on those boards, those displays?
Oh yeah, that's new to us, and Doug Gooden, we got a new board also, so he's busy putting players in, and so I'm in charge of what you see now. We've got a few preset slides, and I'm working with Terry Battle, our athletic assistant administrator, and she and I are going to come up with some different slides to try to capture the moment of what just happened, and of course to add a little bit of humor to what's going on. I'm trying to get the Price is Right sad horns to go after they miss a foul shot or something like that, or looking for some air ball slides and brick slides, and the bank is open when someone banks a long three, that type stuff.
So you are taking what you've been doing audio only, and you're going to take it and make it a video display as well.
Well, yes, and that's something I've got to learn. I'm not very computer minded. I came into the computing world with the green screen dot matrix screen, so it's kind of passed me by. But Terry said she's good at it, so together we're gonna learn and come up with and make games more fun for everybody.
I noticed too that there was a new robotic critter that was on the floor over the weekend. What is that?
That is Sergeant, and it comes from the first three letters of South Georgia Tech, SGT. We bought him to help us run STEM camps and to show kids, grade and middle school kids, what they can do in STEM. But Dr. Watford was at a conference in Savannah, and the company that sold it, you showed him a video of them taking a football out for opening kickoff, and he says, I want to do that. So I got with Chad Brown, our precision machining instructor, and within 2 days, Chad had designed and 3D printed basketball holster to attach to him. And now we walk him out there for opening and then halftime.
And is that going to be a commonplace? I mean, we're going to see that delivery of the basketball every game?
Yes, if he will cooperate. There's different, I've had to learn how to operate it. And, so that's three things I'm doing at a game, plus getting everybody through the national anthem and lineups. So it's, we just got to do it in practice. By the end of the year, we'll have it down just in time to forget enough of it for next year and after we learn it.
All right, let's talk about academic deaning. I don't know if deaning is a word, but let's talk about your job there at South Georgia Tech. What all does it involve? And I'm assuming, based on the fact that I've heard you promote during games, people, I think, applying and checking out the school, that it does indeed focus on just that.
Yeah, I do a lot of recruiting. Our spring semester starts January 11th. So from now until then, students can come and register. We also have, we call them B and C terms. You can take classes for the first half of the semester, and then you can take a different set of classes for the second half. So if you're out there and you're watching this in late February and you think it's too late, we probably got a C term for you. So you can come see us anytime. That's just one of the many things we do. South Georgia Tech invested a lot of money in a mobile lab, and we've got a lot of hands-on displays in that. And because those promote my program, Ms. Partain, our new Vice President of Academic Affairs, asked me to oversee it. So I'm always in there building new things for those folks, getting instructors' input on how to make it better. But we are starting to get really active with that and taking that mobile lab to different middle schools and high schools and getting students involved in knowing what South Georgia Tech offers. And of course, Sergeant the Robot Dog is a big hit out there too. But so if you're out there and you'd like us to come, just give me a call.
Now, if there is someone that would be interested in you coming, or a student that is interested in more information in regards to South Georgia Tech, what's the best method? I mean, I know you can go online and get the info, but would you prefer them making some direct contact too?
Sure. The best way I can tell you is feel free to reach out to me. My number is 229-931-2068. And if I don't answer, leave me a message and I'll be happy to get back in touch with you for registration, mobile lab. If you've got any questions about any program at South Georgia Tech, what we offer, we'll be happy. I mean, I'm happy to stop everything and talk to you.
Give me that number again so we can pass it along.
Okay, it's 229-931-2068. Or you can email me at dfinley@southgatech.edu.
Okay. Question in regards to, I know when I spoke with Dr. John Wadford, he mentioned the new RN program that was there. Is that something too that changes the direction that you use to try to attract students as well?
Oh yeah. It's a bridge program, so it will get you from the LPN to the RN program, and we're really looking forward to that. Brett Murray is another academic dean, and he's over that program, and they're really excited, and he's spending all his waking hours getting that thing up and running so that we can be a better service to our community and our students.
David Finley, great job on the sidelines every game, and thank you very much for information in regards to South Georgia Tech. And again, I've got the number in the email, so if they don't contact you directly, hey, folks, get in touch with us, and we'll pass that along. Great talking with you again, David, and we'll see you game day.
All right, looking forward to it.
Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
We get ready for second half action. It is a Tallahassee lead, 34-23, going into the third stanza. Apparently a little something on the basketball. And the official is with basketball in hand over to the rack going, okay, we got to find a different basketball. A little something on it, and they worked on it, tried to polish it up, and that didn't work. But the official says, hey, I found one. This will work. And we will get second half action underway. From the hangar in Americas, the Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic here on JockJive. Second game of 3 today and 6 this weekend. And it is Tallahassee with possession of the basketball as we begin the half. Off the fingertips of Robinson, Bennett has it, gives it over to Thomas. And the Fighting Tigers would love to make an early statement. Going a little bit of a run, and a little bit of a run starts with the first points. And instead, Bailey's got it, brings it to the other end of the floor. Sam coughed it up, Johnson's headed to the Tiger end. And that will go out of bounds. 30 turnovers between the two teams in the first half, 15 each. Which means thus far today, we have had 57. Trying to add that in my head. I think that's right. 57 turnovers in the first half. In the opening game, there were a total of 27 between the two teams. And in this one, a total of 30 between the two teams. So for the day, we could be nearing the 100 turnover mark between this game and the game that preceded. And there's another turnover. Thomas coming up with it. And there's another turnover. Tingle gets it, then walks with it. So there is yet another turnover. Into the ball game for Andrew College is Douglas. And Thomas will leave the ball game. Bennett over to Johnson. Long too long, but Bennett comes down with it, gives it to Johnson. Over to Tingle, back to Johnson, asking for it down low. That is Douglas. Bailey instead with the rebound. To the other end of the floor, Robinson, and Robinson will lay it in. Well, in the half, you saw stats from a team perspective. Let's give you some of the individual numbers. Top scorer in the first half for the Eagles with 7. As that is off the window for Tingle. Robinson and Laborde both with 7 to lead all Tigers. Top rebounder was Robinson with 8. Got another turnover, another steal. Tingle putting up the 3, short on the shot. Gay's got it, goes over to Johnson. And she will take one too many steps. Tingle with 3 steals in the first half. Most time on the floor belonged to Andrews at 17 minutes, 18 seconds for the Tigers. I make that for the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, Johnson was the top scorer with 8. The leading rebounder with 5 was Bennett. Three steals for Rhodes. And the most time on the floor belonged to Thomas at 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Bailey missing the bunny. And Robinson will walk, trying to bring it back to the glass. As I mentioned, both teams with 15 turnovers in the first half. Foul issues, Eagles only 1, McNeil with 2. Tigers with a number of foul situations. You got Thomas with 3. Bailey off the glass. Got Leslie with 2. Got Robert with 2. Got Bennett with 2. Sam to the Eagle into the floor, off the window, and no good. Tipped into the corner, able to track it down. Leslie Andrews defending, and it's simply taken away by Bennett. Over to Sam. Make that McNeil over to Sam. Back over it goes to Douglas. Points off turnovers. Tallahassee 14, Andrew College 9. From your bench, Eagles 15, Tigers 7. Largest first half lead was 11, belonging to Tallahassee when they led at 34-23. Sam missing on the 3, Bennett with a board. 3 lead changes, 6 ties in the first half. Leslie shooting. 5 points in the game for Leslie. Muse getting ready to step onto the floor, but told to wait a moment. And she'll come in after the next Leslie free throw. And there you go, Muse in. And it is Andrews who is coming out, but there is a timeout on the floor asked for by Tallahassee. 13-point Tallahassee lead in quarter 3. Cortana fans enjoying the basketball game from the hangar here in Americus. One more to go. And that will pit South Georgia Tech, the home team, and the host against Chipola. Over to Bailey. Bailey at the timeline. Brings it top of the key. Sam goes into the corner. McNeil with a feed to Muse. And Muse the puck into the foul. And she will go to the stripe with an opportunity for 3. Robinson giving her a high five, going, hey, I know what it feels like. Did it in the first half. And now Muse will try to match that feat here in half number 2. Just a little bit strong with the shot, but the rebound belongs to McNeil. And she'll drop into 2, and they'll make a little more than they were looking for. Got a travel mixed in. Here comes Gay back into the ball game. Bennett will exit for the Tigers. And Sam to put it in play from the opposite end of the floor. Got a little conversation over at the scorer's table. I think maybe the officials were going, hey, remember, in Georgia, we take the media timeout with the first dead ball inside the 5-minute mark.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Five minutes left to play in the third. Not in the half. We've actually got about 14 minutes, 57 seconds to play in the half. Over goes to Bailey, puts it on the floor, fires into Muse, a little too strong with the toss, and Tingle has it. I think that Rhodes has it. She will give to Douglas, feeds underneath. Off the glass, no good for Leslie, and the board grab by Robinson. Over to Bailey, back out front, and goes to McNeil. Bailey shooting for 3. Wide left, and the board belongs to Leslie. Leslie to Leslie, the shot no good. And Muse eventually comes up with a loose ball. He heads it back over to McNeil, and there is a blocking foul. And that will be charged to Douglas. So Sam to put it in play for the near sidelines. Whipped over to Bailey, shoots the 3. And I think they're going to get Sam for climbing over the back of a Tiger. And it is Sam guilty. That'll be her second. Andrew Collins bringing it in from the baseline. Over it goes to Leslie. Stolen away, Sam taking the pass intended for Rhodes. Underneath, Bailey with a miss, tips it out, able to track it down McNeil. Trying to get it to Robinson, overshoots Robinson, it's Douglas with it. Feeds it down low, Leslie misses. And able to go after the loose ball and put up a long two that misfires is Rhodes. Meanwhile, Douglas will steal it from Robinson, but steals it from Robinson out of bounds. Eagles put it in play from the baseline on the opposite end of the floor. Bailey a little strong with a pass to Muse, tipped away by Gay. It is Leslie who's got it on the other end of the floor, puts up the two. Elbow shot, no good, Laborde. Over to McNeil, and McNeil lays it up, but not in. Douglas over to Leslie. Able to get it across midcourt in the allotted 10. Rhodes with a miss on the 3 try. And that will be a push. Let's see who's charged. It'll be Leslie. As in Shabrika Leslie. Bailey, that's a long two, standing inside the arc. Over it goes to Leslie, and then Leslie fouled by Bailey. Non-shooting foul. It'll be brought in from the near sidelines. Into the game to do so is Scott. Gives it to Thomas, who's checked back into the game too. Thomas has got some foul issues. That has limited her playing time. Scott shot blocked by Robinson. Tries to get it back. And let's see, after all that, somebody apparently committed a foul. And that somebody is going to be Muse. Trying to get it to Thomas, tipped out of bounds by Laborde. Scott again from in front of the scorer's table, puts it in play to Tingle, stolen away by McNeil. Then swatted away from the backside by Rhodes. Here comes Gianna Robert in. And Jashay Gay will go out. In play to Muse. Thomas wanted it right back to Muse. She'll float it for two. And a walk by Thomas. Tallahassee building a 21-point lead. Led it by 11 at the half. And tacked on 10 more. Laborde misses on the 3. Leslie with it. Bailey trying to reach in, take it away. She'll commit the foul. And it looks like we'll head to the other end of the floor and shoot some bonuses. Leslie shooting with 1:38 to play. In quarter number 3, Shabrika Leslie is a 50% free throw shooter, 7 points a game on average for a team that averages 50 a game. Tallahassee coming in averaging 57. Laborde able to track down a loose ball in the corner. Keep it in the hands of the Eagles. Bailey off the side of the backboard, tipped out of bounds. Last touched by Leslie. So the Eagles will maintain possession. Bailey to put it in play. Into McNeil, back into the corner to Bailey. Well, she'll launch him. Muse with a rebound. Back to the glass, off the window for two. Johnson over to Leslie. Short on the shot, got it back. Tries to scoop it. Got it back a second time. Out to Johnson, over to Thomas. Perimeter two, not there. And it is McNeil who takes it away. But loses it out of bounds. And the Tigers will have it with 41 seconds remaining in the third. Bailey coming out of the ball game, and it is Sam who is back in for the Eagles. Thomas to the elbow, floats it to the glass. Robinson with the rebound. Sam backing it out to near midcourt. Into the corner to Laborde. Off on the three try. That'll be tipped out of bounds by Scott. And with 1.9 to be exact left on the third quarter clock, Eagles put it in play. It is stolen away, and no opportunity for a long three as we bring quarter number three to an end. We're headed to the fourth. Eagles trying to pick up their second win of the year. Lead it by 22. .28 game as we head into the fourth. Tallahassee Community College trying to pick up their second win of the year. Andrew College, though, would like to pick up their third. That is Ronnie Harper coming down with a rebound. Got a big round of applause from teammates when she checked into the game and every time she touches the ball. McNeil's got it out front over to Laborde. Obviously a team favorite. Robert with a rebound off the miss. Johnson's got it. And a couple of bodies on the floor. Laborde is one and Johnson is the other. And the foul is going to be called on Laborde. That'll be her second of the game. In play to Johnson. Long two, not quite long enough. And it is Sam with it to the other end of the floor. Laborde lays it in for an easy two. little trouble hanging onto the basketball for Leslie, which disrupted the flow of the play. Looked like it had been executed to perfection. Sam is fouled, bringing it inside on the other end of the floor. And Sam to the stripe. 57 points a night for Tallahassee, and currently at 52 with nearly all of the fourth to go. Sam averaging 15 a game, a 74% free throw shooter on a 63% free throw shooting team. Gets one of two. Got a steal. McNeil takes it away from Thomas. Sam with a miss. Robert grabs it. Loose ball again, though, and LeBourne takes it. Off on the three try. And Roberts with the loose ball feeds it over to Johnson. It's got fouled by Muse. Three fouls on Muse. And she will come out of the game. Zanaya Irvin into the ball game. As Scott, a 25% free throw shooter, shoots. The freshman averaging not quite a point a game. Missing both, wrapped up by Harper. Throws it away, though, and not yet points. As a matter of fact, reaching in to take it away is Irvin. Back into the ball game, Bailey. That will go off of Leslie and out of bounds. So the Eagles keep it on their end of the floor. Irvin with a miss, rebounded by Bennett. Sends it out to Douglas. Bennett fouled in the paint. And it is going to be Harper that committed the foul, her first. Bennett heading to the stripe. Well, according to stats, she is a 12% free throw shooter. But gets her first. Misfires on the second of two. LeBourne with the rebound. Out of the corner comes LeBourne, puts up the shot. Harper trying to get the rebound. And Bennett battling, and Bennett kind of hops over Harper. Trying to clear the board and head to the other end of the floor. I think you've got a second foul, possibly. Or do you have a walk? Apparently a walk. No foul was charged. Skylar Bailey picking up her third foul. Harper, another rebound. And Douglas will foul her. LeBourne top of the key. Shoots it over to Irvin. And Irvin has it taken away by Bennett. And then let's see who committed the foul. Might have been Irvin trying to get it back. It was. And that'll be the 5th foul and a trip to the stripe. Well, as I mentioned, her stats suggest she is a 12% free throw shooter. But she's been at least doing 1 for 2. That's going to help the average out substantially. Timeout on the floor in the 4th with 7:06 to play.
You've played some travel ball, you've shared the videos. Mom and Dad can only root so much. It's time to get real interest from the colleges and scouts in your area, right where you live. That's why the Showcase Series is different. We're not just another tournament, we're an advancement event where you get real-time exposure with live TV coverage of our games that get you seen directly by the coaches you want to impress from anywhere in the world. Register for events at showcaseseries.org. It's your turn at bat.
.3 lead, 7:06 to play. And the stripe shooting has been its 2nd of 2. With 1 more game to go. A reminder, by the way, he's got a perfect Bennett trip to the stripe. A reminder that we'd love to have you as a friend, follower, threader, TikToker, whatever the case might be. You know, we got them all. If they're free, we do it. So TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm still calling it Twitter. And, of course, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. None of that mandatory. Just requested. Yes, Sam will make her 1st of 2. .4 lead and a steal. And another foul. Harper going to the strike. The team favorite. I see the bench. I think a little hyped when Ronnie Harper touches the basketball and she's at the stripe shooting. Well, I'm looking at the season stats for Harper. She has been in 1 prior game. And I don't think has any points yet. Does now. Tingle with a miss on the 3. Battle to get it back. Loose ball grabbed by Sam. Over it goes to Bailey. Bailey spins, shot up, no good, drew the foul. Bailey with 9 in the game, looking for double digits. Missing the 1st of 2. And misses both. Harper with the rebound. Over it goes to Irvin. And she will be fouled by Bennett. And for Bennett, that's it. Picks up her 5th personal, fouls out of the ball game. Irvin with a couple of points in the ball game, averaging 3 per contest. Goes 0 for 2. It's Leslie with the rebound. Sam working it into the corner to Bailey. Bailey firing the 3, hits it. It makes it a 59-31 game, 5:42 to go. Well, there becomes a point as Gay will hit the 2. And the margin of the lead and the time on the clock suggests you're not going to be able to overcome it, and I think we are there. Sam with a miss. The putback is good for Irvin. A 28-point game with 5:15 to go. I'm sure somewhere, somehow, sometime, somebody overcame such a lead. But I doubt it's going to be tonight. And it hadn't happened very often. Obviously, the odds not in favor of such. Sam out, Tingle into the ball game. And McNeil coming in too while Bailey exits for the Eagles. In play to McNeil. Drives, lays it up and in. Tipped by Laborde. Tingle able to save it, but into the hands of Leslie. Brings it into the paint, short. Leslie getting it back. Flings it to the hoop, not there. Able to retrieve, it is Leslie. And again, you got Jumbrika and Shumbrika. And the Shumbrika shot retrieved by Lumbrika. Goes out of bounds, last touched an Eagle. In play to Leslie. Back over and goes to Douglas. Put in play to Douglas. Stolen away. Tingle's got it. Lobs to the other end of the floor. Laborde with a lay-in. McNeil nearly took it away from Douglas. Able to get it back. Goes over to Leslie. Jumper from the stripe. Leslie with a miss. McNeil's got it. Feeds over to the low board, back to McNeil. Irvin with a miss. And it is Rhodes coming up with the rebound, overshoots the target on the other end of the floor, and it will go out of bounds off McNeil. And we're putting Thomas, Scott, Johnson, Robert, all in. The only one of the 5 still on the floor is Shabrika Leslie. In play to Johnson. Robert. She'll miss. Tipped back onto the floor by Douglas, but into the hands of McNeil. Over to Tingle, drive, shoots over Robert. Sat on the rim, comes out. Robert with the rebound. Johnson to the other end of the floor, and she will draw the foul. Johnson, a 75% free throw shooter, 7 points a night. Has 10 tonight. And missed both. Irvin with a board. Over it goes to McNeil. Off the glass for Tingle. Lost in the paint. Leslie gets it, feints, fires, and hits it over Irvin. Tingle through traffic. Robert with the rebound. And she'll get fouled by Tingle. So Robert to the strike. Well, that lead was 11 after 2. It was 21 after 3. And it has grown to 32 in the fourth. Couple of Robert misses. Out of bounds off of Leslie. And Harper to put it in play. Hanger and Americus with one more game to go. South Georgia Tech and Chipola. Harper, first field goal of the night, much to the delight of her teammates. Fed down to Roberts. Leslie's got it. She'll put up the 3 ball. Robert with the rebound, and she gets fouled. Harper committing the personal. And Robert back at the stripe with 1:46 to play. Well, the Florida teams have been the successful teams thus far. Miami-Dade knocking off Georgia Highlands. Tallahassee about to defeat Andrew College. One more Florida-Georgia matchup. Chipola and South Georgia Tech. And South Georgia Tech will try to break that stream. But Florida wins today. Johnson, too strong with a lay-in. Thomas, put back, not there. Harper with a rebound. Tingle took an extra step. And it'll be Andrew College ball. Thomas, short on the 3 try. Laborde with it as we get inside 1 minute to play. Over to McNeil. LeBourne to Tingle. Back it goes to LeBourne. 8 seconds showing on the shot clock. Tingle with an air ball on the 3. Leslie trying to send it to the other end of the floor. Taken away by LeBourne. And then it's Harper misfiring on the long 2. Leslie going to the stripe after the foul from LeBourne. Andrew scoring below their average clip of 50. Tallahassee above their norm of 57. $18 seconds remaining in the game. Johnson for 3. And McNeil is going to run timeout on this one. And that'll be the end of the ball game. 69-37 final. And they'll clear the scoreboards on the other side quickly to get ready for the final game of the day. So let's pull all graphics and just pass along your final score. 69-37. Tallahassee wins it. They improve to 2-5. Andrew College drops to 2-5 as well. One more game to go. Chipola and South Georgia Tech. It's coming up next. 20 minutes from now. We'll see you then. For all the folks with the Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.